Welcome to the problem solving section, guys. It is on page 235. We're going to take a look at number 6. It says, look at the cell pattern below. Explain how the number of cells changes as the number of division changes. So, a little bit of science here. So we have a cell, and it starts off with one cell. Okay, so I'm going to do 1. Then it goes through a division. It splits. The first division goes and splits into 2 cells. Ooh, okay. So the next division, we've got 2. And then we have another division, and we have 1, 2, 3, looks like 4. And then we jump to the last division, third division, and if you count all those up, you get 8. What's happening here? How would you explain how the number of cells change? You go from here to there, from here to there, and from here to there. What's the pattern that you see? I want you to stare at this for a while, try a few things, pause the video, and then when you think you might have some potential, come on back and we'll do the rest together. All right. Let's see, as I'm looking at this, there's a couple possibilities. I am noticing that the number definitely increases, so it gets larger as we move up, as we move on. Okay. So that tells me there could be one of two things. We could be either, we could be adding. That always increases as you move on. We could also be multiplying. That increases as you move on too. I wouldn't be thinking of subtraction or division because subtraction takes things away. Division takes a large number, and divides that up into smaller numbers. So that's not what I'm looking at here. So we're looking at multiplication or addition. So I'm going to go ahead for a ha-has. Let's take a look at the multiplication and what do we have to do? I mean, let's look at addition first. So in order to get from 1 to 2, I have to add 1, right? Add 1, right? In order to get from 2 to 4, I'm going to have to add more than 1. Looks like I have to add 2. Okay. That's not the same. Okay, so I go to 4. In order to go from 4 to 8, I'm going to have to, can't have to add more than 2. I'm going to have to add 4. 1, 2, 4. Okay, those numbers aren't the same, and they're definitely getting larger, but I don't see necessarily a pattern. So let's take a look at multiplication and just see if we get something that is a consistent pattern. Okay, so we're going to take a look at multiplication and say, all right, well, what do I have to multiply 1 by to get to 2? Well, I have to multiply 2, right? 1 times 2 equals 2. All right, so now I have 2. What do I have to multiply to get to 4? 2 times, 2 times 2 is 4. Okay. All right, this is looking promising. What about 4? What do I have to multiply by 4 to get to 8? How many 4s are there? Yep. There's 2 of them. 4 times 2 is 8. So we would want to answer that. Explain how the number of cells change. The cells multiply by 2 for each division. Boom. 2 times each time. Boom. boom, boom. So I bet you the next division, if you multiply 8 times 2, will be 16. All right, here we go. Number 7. All right, here it says, look at the number sentences below. So look at these number sentences, and they're different, aren't they? We've got a triangle plus a square equals 18. We have a circle plus a triangle equals 20. And then we have a square plus a square equals 14. So we need to figure out what numbers are represented here by these shapes. So, but the keep in mind though is whatever number we put in for the triangle, that number has to be the same number as this triangle. Whatever number we put in for square, that number has to be the same here, here, and here. And then of course the circle has to be a whole different number, and that's not repeated anywhere. So we want to put, we've got triangle, we've got a circle, and then we have a square. All right, guys, you're gonna need to pause this and start working some things out. I really want you to work hard at this and see what you might be able to come up with. I think there'll be a lot of you that can come up with the answers. Some of you might not, but I do want you to struggle and work with this for a little bit. Pause the video. When you have worked with this for a little while, come on back, and then I will show you kind of what my thoughts are. Okay. I hope you're able to figure it out. At the very least, I hope you're able to try all sorts of different things. This is an opportunity to really work your brain a little bit. Here's where I went with this. I looked at this problem here because I'm looking at square plus square. That means whatever number I say the square has to be, let's say I say, oh, the square must be a 3. Well, then at that point, then I've got to put 3 here and I have to put 3 here because square equals 3. So therefore these numbers have to be the same. Now, am I right? 3 plus 3 equals 14? I don't think so. So, come on, there we go. So we need to think what number added to itself equals 14. And then using your addition fact skills, hopefully you came up with the number 7, because 7 plus 7 equals 14. Look at that. Now that we know that that must be it, because there's no other number added to itself equals 14. So that's it. So now that we know that the square is a 7, so let's put the 7 up here. Boom. That brings us the clue. Because now we say, okay, what, when you add it to 7, equals 18? Well, 10 plus 7 is 17, so therefore one more, 11, right? 11. The triangle must be an 11. Now that we know that the triangle is an 11, we can put 11 here. And that just leaves us with the circle. What do we have to add to 11 to get 20? The answer is 9. Boom. All right, let's move on to number 8. Okay, number 8 says, at the bowling alley, there are 32 bowling balls. Of these, 8 are blue, 5 are pink, 6 are red, and the rest are black. How many of the bowling balls are black? I want you to work through this now. Think about a way you can maybe show a picture with some mathematical works, symbols that you're using to show how many bowling balls are black. Pause the video, come on back when you're ready, and we'll work it. I'll show you how I approached it. Okay, I hope you had fun with that one. Let me show you kind of my thoughts are on this. This is only one way. I mean, there's lots of ways you could have solved this. But I like to draw pictures, and so I'm thinking of, I love my rectangles, so I'm going to draw a rectangle, and I'm going to have that rectangle represent all 32 balls, bowling balls, the whole thing. And we're given clues as to section some of this off. It says that 8 are blue, so let me put 8 are blue. And then it says 5 are pink. Okay, 5 are pink. And 6 are red. 6 are red. So that means the rest are black. And that's our question. All right, just based on looking at that, how can I simplify this down to figure out what this is? Okay. Now, I know that if I add 8 plus 5 plus 6 plus this amount, I will get 32 balls. But I don't know what this amount is. So the other way, I'm looking at this saying, okay, well, what if I add all this together and then subtract that amount from the 32? That will give me the remaining amount. So if I say, what's 8 plus 5 plus 6? Okay. All right, so I know that 6 plus 5 is 11. And now I'm going to add 8 to that. 8 plus 11 is 19. So I need to now I know this whole thing is 19. So let me subtract 19 from the 32, and that will leave what's left over. So I'll say 32 minus 19. Oops, I can't take 9 from 2. I need to go over and regroup. I'm going to take a 10, so I'm going to subtract that out. And I'm left with 2 10s here. And I bring the 10 over, and now instead of having 2, I have 10 plus 2, which is 12. 12 minus 9 is 3. 2 minus 1 is 1. 13. 13 goes right here. Because 13 plus 19 equals 32. So there are 13 black bowling balls.